In the previous tutorial on creating variables, I have shown you how do you create a variable that is used to hold text or string. Now I'm going to show you how do you join two or more variables together. So let's open back the file that we have used in the previous exercise on creating variable. In the previous exercise, I have created a variable called name, and I have set the value of Amy into this variable. Now I'm going to change this a little bit. I'm going to name this as first name. And then I'm going to create another variable, and I will call this as last name. Maybe I'll call it as Young. So every time you create a line of code, always remember to close it with a semicolon. And now we save our file. The next thing now is that we need to join these two variables together. So I will scroll to the area where I need to join them together. Let's say we would like to put it here. It means that I will get to have a heading 4 where I will have the word welcome followed by the first name and then the last name. So if this is the first name and this is the last name, means it will print out Amy Young. So how do we do this? Okay, we can do this by going to amend this line of code here. Instead of just echo name, now I will have to do echo first name. And then now we are to join the other variable. You can join variables by putting a period, or we call a dot, and then followed by the name of the variable that you want to join with. So I want to join first name with last name. So once I have done this, I will save it one more time and preview and see what we get now. This is what we get now. This is our word that we get from the first name variable, and this is the word that we get from the last name variable. You notice that they are all joined together without a space. This is because back in our codes, right, I did not put in any spaces for the variable that's holding Young as well as the variable that's holding the word Amy. So now how do we do this? So I'm going to show you now how do we actually add in a space in between these two variables. It is actually very simple to do this. What happened now is that what I will do is to treat these two variables as part of a string. A string is actually a bunch of text or something that you would like to be treated as text. So how do I create a string here? This is the same thing as what you did top here. This is what you call a string. This is what we call a string. Now, what I will do now is that I will echo out the string directly from this part of my code. For example, let's say now I'm going to echo a string. So now, in order for me to echo a string, I have to open it with I will start my string with a double quote and end my string with another double quote. And whatever that I put inside here will be treated as string. this one would include spaces as well. So for example, let's say now, if I were to cut this one in now, and I put a space followed by the other variable, and then I remove this dot now, what happens is that this command echo string is actually works like this. It will treat whatever within the double quote, the opening of the double quote and the closing of this double quote, as part of a string, inclusive of the space. So now if I do this now, what I will see is that I have the first name here, space, and the last name. So let's save our file now and preview our page. So as you can see, this is how the page will look like. The word or the value of the first name variable is being printed out, followed by a space, and then the value of the last name variable is also printed out after that. So what I have shown you is that I have shown you two basic methods which you could use to join two or more variables together. So that's the end of this tutorial.